start it off in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Ring Talk. Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith.
Still doesn't have a nickname.
That's fine.
We're going to get it there one day. We'll find one.
And we are here with another edition of Ring Talk. Episode 8 is
Episode 8. Episode number
8. 8. All right. So first of all, we're going to go through the shows.
We got Raw, NXT, Smackdown. Then we got
the matches.
The remaining matches that we meant to cover last week.
Our top 10 ranking.
Top 10 ranking. And then we are also finding out Caysen's punishment.
Which is going to happen right now.
Yes. Since he lost the Backlash prediction contest, he now has to give a punishment. How many punishments did we come up with?
We
6?
come up with 6 so far.
6.
We will continue adding more as we go.
Let's list off the ones that we have so far. So we got tortilla slap.
Mm-hmm.
So he'll put water in his mouth, and then you'll see me just go smack him right in the face with a tortilla. Hand slap, I just get to slap him in the face. Yep. One time, I get one shot at it.
One shot.
If I mess it up, that's it.
That's it.
So I get one chance to slap you. Wax strip, so we'll go find some wax, and we'll put it on his leg and wax his leg a little bit. Pie to the face. Simple. And then here's a fun one. Sing a WWE theme song. I will pick a theme song that he will then have to sing. And again, we're going to do these. We're going to find out the punishment today. But
and we'll do these next week.
It'll take place next week, and we'll prepare for it. One of them is a can't talk
for a segment. So does that mean that's not just a whole episode? That's just one segment. Just a segment.
Do I get to pick the segment that you don't get to talk in?
If you want. I was thinking we either do that or we just do another wheel of all the segments and whichever one lands on.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that one too.
All right. If you have any ideas, I'm sure we could probably put a lot more on here.
You want me to do it or you want you to do it?
I can go ahead and do it. It's my wheel.
So we'll hit it and then we'll show it.
Pressing the button here. We'll go ahead and put the wheel on there. It says...
What's it going to be? What did it land on?
Hand slap.
Hand slap. I just get to slap him in the face.
Hand slap. He gets to slap me in the face. You want to just do that right now?
You want to do it now?
I mean, we might as well. All right.
I get one shot. If I mess it up... All right, but we agree. We're friends after this. No hard feelings.
Don't knock me out, please. All right. That was pretty good.
Is that a good slap?
That was good.
All right. Punishment.
Right, there we go.
That was an easy punishment.
No,
he got away.
Spotify, I hope you could hear that one.
I bet you heard that. It
was pretty crisp.
Hey, let's go again.
No. So Spotify, if you're listening on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever, on our YouTube channel, we show everything on here, including the wheel,
Yes.
everything. So next we're going to go through the recap of Raw, NXT, Smackdown.
Kicking off King and Queen of the Ring tournaments.
Yep.
It was a good start.
Yep.
I think a lot of our predictions came to fruition.
Yeah, some of them were pretty easy predictions, I'd say.
I mean, it's looking like we're gearing up to get Gunther versus Ilya Dragunov in the semifinals.
Yeah.
Which is going to be awesome.
So, here we go. First of all, Raw kicks off with the Judgment Day coming out, talking about how they're so dominant. And Damian Priest apologizes for how he was treating the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
They're like, okay, yeah, cool. And then they all hug each other. Kind of awkward.
Yeah.
But whatever. Then Finn Balor declares himself he's going to be the King of the Ring.
And he was remember last week, he was my sleeper pick.
Yeah.
He was like, if there's one guy that maybe most people don't expect to win this that could, it was Finn Balor.
And we also figured out before that Drew McIntyre actually wasn't going to be in the tournament.
He was.
But then injury caused him not to be.
Because he talked about the injury the week before, and Adam Pearce went in and was like, all right, we'll have doctors look at it. And they said he wasn't cleared to compete. All because of CM Punk.
Yep, and Drew wasn't really happy about that. So Drew's replacement, Finn Balor is not going to get a bye.
No.
He was not going to get a bye. Instead, they have Jey Uso take place of the match.
And that infuriated Drew McIntyre even more because his issues with Jey Uso. He's like, you're just twisting the knife at this point.
Yeah. Jey Uso comes out with a victory in this match.
So that kind of throws my whole Finn Balor dark horse out the window.
I was thinking that as well.
I was thinking Finn Balor could maybe do it.
Next, Drew McIntyre gets so mad he just leaves.
He leaves, and right as he leaves,
soon as he
CM
leaves,
Punk shows up.
As soon as he leaves, CM Punk shows up, and he comes to talk to the crowd. Makes a statement about
says he this promo is actually going to last longer than Drew McIntyre's title reign at WrestleMania.
That's right.
He had Pat McAfee time him.
Yep, he was just talking crap.
It lasted a bit long.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. I was thinking since it was lasted so long, they were going to have Drew McIntyre come back.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay. I see. And then he didn't. It ended. Mm-hmm. And I was like, well, they kind of dragged this out a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like they kind of gave him the mic and kind of let him say what he wanted. It was just a little too long.
Yeah.
And then nothing kind of came out about it. But, it's always a good time to have CM Punk have a microphone.
Mm-hmm.
He is entertaining at what he says and what he does. But I was hoping Drew McIntyre was going to come out.
Yeah, after that, leaves the ring.
Yeah.
And then we get our first round of the Queen of the Ring and tournament, which is Natalya and Io Sky.
Io Sky, first televised match since losing the Women's Championship at WrestleMania.
And first televised match on Raw.
On Raw since the draft, correct. Yes, the draft went into effect this week.
Mm-hmm.
So, Damage Control is looking to take over.
Io Sky makes a great performance and defeats Natalya.
Natalya put up a good fight, but in the end...
She did put up a good fight.
The Genius of the Sky came out on top.
And she also had help from Dakota Kai as well and Kairi Sane.
Who we later find out takes Asuka's place in the Queen of the Ring tournament. Because Asuka, there's a lot of injuries. Mm-hmm. 3 injuries. So Bobby Lashley wasn't able to compete and was replaced by Angelo Dawkins. Kofi Kingston replaced Xavier Woods.
That's right.
And then Dakota Kai replaced Asuka. So there's some injuries going around. And we got Drew McIntyre injured.
Drew McIntyre.
CM Punk. Seth Rollins is out.
Now, do you think the Drew McIntyre injury was real? Or
I think he did. I think he has. He had been having some elbow problems.
Okay.
Yeah. But he's been, I think, fighting through it, and I think he's just kind of taking... A lot of those guys have needed rest.
Yeah.
You look at this last year. You look at Seth Rollins and Drew McIntyre. I mean, they've been carrying this show.
I can see why Seth Rollins is taking a break.
Yeah, to give them... They deserve a break.
And we have the next round of the King Ring tournament. Well, not next round, but next match.
Next match, yeah. Maybe match of the night, in
my opinion, it was a great match. Ricochet and Ilya Dragunov.
I think
Dragunov looks amazing.
Yeah, I don't think Ricochet didn't come out with his WWE Speed title.
No,
that I remember. I was like, why did he not come out with it? Have you been watching a lot of any of the Speed?
I haven't, but I seen.
I see clips of it. Yeah.
I never really got into it.
And you got to watch him on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it. But we'll see if it lasts.
But, Dragunov
looking good.
The victory.
Looking
First
good.
Win on Raw. Second win on Raw.
First
win after the draft.
As an active main roster combatant.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see Ilya Dragunov. Let me tell you this. Let me ask you this, I should say. Where do you see, by the end of the year, when we hit 2025, where do you think Ilya Dragunov's going to be at?
I say...
Do you think he'll be I don't know if he'll be champion yet.
I don't think he'll be main champion, but I feel like he might be United States or Intercontinental. I could see that.
Von Raw, probably Intercontinental.
Yeah.
I could see maybe winning the Royal Rumble next year.
That's a possibility. It's a possibility. Because Dragunov...
Maybe Gunther is world champion by that point. Ilya Dragunov wins, and we get main event.
Dragunov is definitely, suits the win the Royal Rumble from the one spot.
He could do it.
If Dragunov could definitely do that. Just knowing his personality and how nothing can stop him at all.
And I'm curious to see we got the. Well, he's not but we got Bash in Berlin coming up. Dragunov's from Russia, but we got Gunther from Germany, and you want to give Gunther a big opponent for that event.
That would be.
Or he's from Austria, but it's close to Germany.
Yeah.
So that'd be a good match for him, I think.
That would be a good match.
Would definitely help the...
Yeah, so Dragunov advances in the tournament.
Yes, picking up a big win.
Next, we have the next match of Queen of the Ring. Ivy Nile versus Zoe Stark.
Yes.
So,
who won? It was Stark won.
Yeah, Stark won the match.
I'm glad. I've said this before, I see a lot of potential in Zoe Stark. Mm-hmm. I see the same things that made Becky Lynch so popular all those years ago when she became the man. I see those same things in Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me. Maybe I'm in the minority of that.
No, Zoe Stark is definitely talented.
Yeah, she's. Yeah. Her program with Trish Stratus last year, I think, helped a lot. Mm-hmm. And it didn't. They paired her up with Shayna Baszler, but that really hasn't done a whole lot for her.
I feel like as soon as the crowd gets into her, that's when they're gonna push her for the championship and stuff. So,
but how do you get the crowd behind her?
That's the question. That's the question.
With Becky Lynch, it was a moment that got that crowd behind. When the bloody nose, when you remember when Nia Jax broke her nose, and that was when she became the man. Mm-hmm. I think. Maybe Zoe Stark needs a moment like that, maybe.
And Paul Levesque we trust.
And Paul Levesque we trust. It's the Paul Levesque era. But she did pick up the win over Ivy Nile. She advances in the Queen of the Ring.
I kind of expected that too. I couldn't see Ivy.
She could be my dark horse for the women's. Possibly. Zoe Stark. Possibly.
That could possibly...
She could be...
That could possibly be an outcome of the tournament for that. But with competitors like...
like Io Sky in there.
Io Sky... Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill. I don't know.
Will she win it? Maybe she'll make it to the finals.
She might.
Making it to the finals, I think, could do maybe not as much, but it would do a lot for her.
As long as she gets progressively far into it, that's the push.
She made it to the second round, and I'm not sure who she's going up against, what the tournament looked like at this point, like who she's going to be wrestling in the second round. Mm-hmm. But we'll see.
We finally get to see a heel Chad Gable match.
Yes,
with
against
Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed, who Chad Gable cost the Intercontinental Championship the week prior when he attacked Sami Zayn.
I'm seeing a triple threat match coming.
I think they've announced it. They've officially announced it, for King and Queen of the Ring, because in this match, Sami Zayn gets involved and causes a disqualification. And Bronson Reed was not happy, so he just took out everybody.
I have a feeling Chad Gable's going to win it.
You think? I could see him doing it. I think he will too. I could
definitely see it happen.
But yes, it has been official for King and Queen of the Ring triple threat match between Sami Zayn, Chad Gable, and Bronson Reed for the Intercontinental Championship. And I hope Chad Gable wins. I think it is his time to shine.
I feel like this heel turn was the push that they needed to get him the title.
Now, I will say, if you notice, you've seen a lot of the rumors about maybe pairing him up with the Creed brothers. Mm-hmm. They weren't on Raw.
They weren't.
So maybe they're giving them a little time off screen to then bring him back and give him a new storyline with that heel run.
I could see that because he's definitely about to push out.
Because eventually you're going to see, you see the ripples in Alpha Academy, and eventually it's going to explode. Yeah. I can see it. It's at least going to last until after King and Queen of the Ring. Mm-hmm. I think if we see a new heel group with Chad Gable and Creed brothers or whoever, it'll happen after King and Queen of the Ring or at King and Queen of the Ring, and maybe the Creed brothers help him win the Intercontinental Championship.
That would be a good push.
That would be a good way to make that faction,
make that little stable there,
help him win. Because the whole thing for Chad Gable is he's telling Alpha Academy to win him the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah. When they had their tag team titles, he was like, win me the tag team titles. Yeah. So he's like, do this all for me.
Yeah, and they all are losing their
They're losing, and you see the ripples.
All right, next we have Becky Lynch coming out with a promo.
Yes, so she basically calls out Liv Morgan. Mm-hmm. And
which we all saw coming.
I think we're going to get Becky Lynch and Liv Morgan at King and Queen of the Ring. Yeah. Let me mention, Queen of the Ring is shaping up to look good.
It's looking really... Whenever I saw Liv Morgan wasn't in the
tournament, you knew she was getting the title. Especially after beating Nia Jax the week prior.
That was a big win for her. Mm-hmm.
But then you notice, so they're going back and forth. Liv Morgan basically still, again, reiterates that Becky Lynch wouldn't be champion if it wasn't for her, if she hadn't beaten down Rhea Ripley. Mm-hmm. And then Damage Control comes out. And basically surrounds the ring. They're about to whoop up on both of them. And Liv Morgan gets out of Dodge. Yeah. She's like, she said, not my problem.
She said, not my problem.
And I'm liking this. Is Liv Morgan a heel at this point? Do we consider her a heel?
Well, I think they're trying to push her to be heel, but people still love her so much.
Almost kind of like a Drew McIntyre heel type, where he's not a heel, but he'll do heel things if it benefits him. He's looking out for himself, but he's not going to help out these heel He's not going to help out like a heel faction like Damage Control.
Like
Drew McIntyre back at Survivor Series lined up with Judgment Day because it benefited him. It was in his best interest. I see the same thing with Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
But yeah, she runs away, and then it was Lyra Valkyria who comes out and saves Becky Lynch, fights off Damage Control, because that sets up the next Queen of the Ring tournament match between Lyra Valkyria and Dakota Kai.
And the winner of that match was Valkyria.
Valkyria beat Dakota Kai on Dakota's birthday.
Really?
It was Monday. It was Dakota Kai's birthday. So, hey, happy late birthday to Dakota Kai. Happy birthday. We appreciate
lost.
You lost. Put up a good fight, though. She did put up a good fight.
Valkyria,
she looks good.
Good first impression.
You think she'll go all the way?
To the championship?
To the finals? Yeah.
I mean, not championship finals. No.
No? How far do you think? You think she's losing in the second round?
I think she's going to lose to Io Sky.
I think she'll make it. I'd have to look at what the tournament. I don't know who's going up against who, but if they're in separate parts of the bracket, I could see that being the semifinals matchup.
Her and
being Io Sky and Lyra Valkyria, and Io Sky winning, and then I think we'll touch on more. But I think Jade Cargill will win on the SmackDown side.
Yeah.
And that'll be the finals there.
Yeah, that would be a good match.
She picks up the victory here on Raw, Lyra Valkyria. Big win. And then the match that everybody was looking forward to.
The main event.
Main event, Sheamus versus Gunther in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. It didn't disappoint, in my opinion.
We all knew who was going to win, but we still wanted to see
knew it was going to be what Sheamus likes to call a banger. Mm-hmm. And it was a banger.
Yeah.
Gunther picked up the win. A+ match. I mean, do you see how red Sheamus' chest was getting?
Those chops are
brutal.
Ruthless.
I wouldn't ever want to take a chop from Gunther in my life. I would if I took one chop from Gunther, I'd have to take a really long nap afterwards.
Oh, okay. $1 million for a chop.
I mean, I do a chop. Honestly, I take it back what I said. If Gunther was here and said I'd give you a chop, I'd take it. Just to say I took a chop from Gunther.
Yeah.
But again, I would have to lay down for a while after. One chop is all I could take.
Yeah, probably.
I'd be I'm done. I don't want to take any more. But then, did that bring us to the end of the show?
That was the end of the show.
Yes. So.
Next we have NXT.
A solid Raw show. I enjoyed it.
Solid show. Very solid show.
Yes. I will admit I missed NXT this week. I was busy.
Too.
I was busy getting schoolwork finished up, but we'll go through it.
We'll still go
see what
through
happens.
it.
I know Wesley was having his return match.
Yes,
first match, and people were pretty pumped about it.
And of course, he wins.
He picked up the W
against Briggs.
Yes,
Josh Briggs.
It's looking like Wesley will eventually get his North American Championship rematch to get the title that he never lost against Obafemi.
Ivar joined commentary during this
Yes, so it's also looking like Ivar could be put in that match, maybe a triple threat down the line. Mm-hmm. Again, give some props to Ivar. He's been killing it, in my opinion, in the singles circuit. Yeah. He's been doing all right.
Obafemi was laughing at all three brawling on the stage.
Obafemi's a big dude.
So maybe a fatal four-way we can see.
Fatal four-way?
Shayna Baszler, which is now in NXT, which is...
Yeah,
that's a big thing.
Working. I don't think she's there permanently. I think she's kind of like there. Kind of like what Natalia's been doing.
Carmen Petrovic is her opponent. She was with Natalia, and Shayna was with Lola Vice. The winner of that match was Shayna Baszler.
Shayna Baszler.
Submission.
Put that chokehold. Because Shayna Baszler in NXT was a dominant force back in the day. I mean, she was...
Definitely.
What, 2-time NXT Women's Champion, I think?
I think so. I believe so. Something like that.
Something like that.
Anyways, No Quarter Catch Crew versus Tyson DuPont and Tyreek Igwe. I think that's how you say it.
Yes. So no Quarter Catch Crew.
Special guest referee was Ref Stacks.
Yes. So No Quarter Catch Crew has kind of been in a rivalry with the family. Is that what they're called?
I believe so.
The D'Angelo family. Yes.
D'Angelo family.
Yes. So they've been kind of, which I've been enjoying their back and forth a bit. It's been kind of fun.
So DuPont and Igwe win because of the interference from Stacks, I'd say. After the match, the Dawn kidnapped Damon Kemp and Bourne to end the night.
They kidnapping? Man, I should have watched this. Are they kidnapping people?
I know, man.
I do enjoy the little like video packages type, like looking like a movie of some kind. You know, when they do that. And also, I enjoy it.
And also, No Core Catch Crew agreed to put their Heritage Cup on the line against Tony D'Angelo.
Yeah, I saw that happening. Yeah. So that's next week?
Next week.
I'll be tuning in next week.
I'll be tuning in for that. Next, we have Mitchin versus Ariana Grace.
Was this a qualifying match for the Women's North American Championship? I know that was coming up.
It does not.
Or was it just...
It doesn't say.
Okay.
But...
Who picked up the
Mitchin
W?
does get the win.
Over Ariana Grace?
Oh, she needed to win if she hopes to get involved in the Women's North American
Championship
picture.
So it looks like she looks like Mitchin will be in the North American Championship picture.
Noam Dar challenges Trick Williams on Supernova Sessions.
Yeah, so it's looking like that'll be Trick Williams' first
title
defense rivalry as the NXT champion. New face. Let's see. You think he'll do well as the face of NXT?
I think so. There's no way he's losing to Noam Dar, though.
Yeah.
You
think he holds it for a year? Kind of like with Ilya Dragunov and drops it before the draft? Or just after the draft or whatever?
I could see that.
Because I see Trick Williams going to the main roster next year.
I definitely can.
He'll hold the fort, and we'll see how he does being the face of NXT. And if it goes well,
I feel like this is kind of a test for Trick.
We'll see how if he can pull off being the face of NXT.
Yeah,
he'll go up to the main roster next year. Yeah. We'll see him, and I would assume Roxanne Perez will also be going up to the main roster next year.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's looking like that'll be his first rivalry. What was next?
Next we have Fallon Henley and Kelani Jordan.
Yes, Fallon Henley. She's the one that turned on Thea Hale.
Yes.
Last week.
And she wins the match.
Yeah, Fallon Henley looking like potentially going to become the new big heel of the NXT Women's division.
They say that these two could be the foundation of the Women's North American Championship scene. So
okay, so they're going to be potentially involved in it as well.
That's right. Yeah. I think this is the last match. It could be.
Well, there was an NXT Women's Championship match.
That's the end.
I think that was the end.
Duke Hudson from Chase U versus Lexis King.
Lexis King.
And the winner of that match was Lexis King.
King. I kind of like Lexis King. I see him doing real well.
He's doing pretty good.
If booked properly, I think he could do well.
A lot of potential in him. Let me see if there's any big stuff.
It sounds like a good show. I should have watched it.
I know, man. Sorry, y'all, if we're getting anything wrong here. But we're finally going to end your suffering.
I know the NXT Women's Championship match was Roxanne Perez and Chelsea Green because they were hyping that match up the week prior.
Yep.
Chelsea Green, how do you feel about Chelsea Green? I like her character.
Her character is good.
It's annoying, but that's the whole point of her character.
Yeah.
I think she's funny and entertaining.
She was the actual Chelsea Green was in a podcast, and she was like, I don't care if they hate my character or not. If they laugh or if they're annoyed, it's good.
That's the whole point. You're supposed to be annoyed.
If they laugh, good. If they're annoyed, it's even better.
It's funny. Yeah. I think she's doing a great job.
Perez defends the title.
Picked up the W, which I was expecting. Good job by Roxanne Perez. Good job, Roxanne Perez.
Overall show, it looks like a pretty
good show.
It looks like a good show.
Solid good show. That brings us
to Smackdown.
And let me ask you a quick question. So, Dijak was drafted to Raw.
That's right.
If you were booking things, where do you put him in? Where does he fit in?
I have no clue.
I don't either, which is not a good thing to say when you have NXT coming up and you don't know what to do with them. That's not good.
It's really hard to tell what they can do with
especially
them,
when you got, also Braun Breaker has come up. And they're going to be pushing him to do big stuff.
Yeah. I feel like with Dijak, they're probably going to put him in groups.
That's what I was thinking. I imagine they're going to pair him up with somebody.
Yeah. I'd say that's the best move for him.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a good time to put him in the main roster, to be honest.
It's just we'll see what they do with
Maybe
him.
Triple H is making some master plan right now.
Yeah, some masterpiece.
All right, so
Bringing us to Friday Night Smackdown.
This is the first part of the show.
Yes. So it opened with I'm blanking on. Sometimes I blank. SmackDown GM Nick Aldis. Was in the middle of the ring. Has Cody Rhodes come out, and then announces his new opponent for King and Queen of the Ring. Logan Paul.
Crazy announcement. I was not expecting this.
We had talked about this before, where we saw potentially Logan Paul being a opponent for Cody Rhodes,
but not as
United States champion. I expected maybe he'd drop it and then go to.
I feel like there's no way they're making this a
I don't
double championship.
Would
match.
Would it help up the stakes? Yes, but in the long run, would it be a good idea? I don't necessarily.
I don't think so because we all know that Cody's going to keep.
Cody's not, because we're all building up to Cody versus Rock.
Yeah,
that's coming up at some point for the title. I don't see him, and I think it's best to keep the United States on Logan Paul.
That's right.
And nothing's been made official if it's going to be for both titles. Mm-hmm. It's most likely just going to look like just for the WWE title.
Yeah,
which I think is the right decision.
Right decision.
You could do something where you were telling me earlier today, where you could have Cody Rhodes in a match, and it's like if he wins.
It's just for.
It'll be for both titles.
Yeah, it's for both titles.
Or maybe Logan Paul gets involved and costs him the match so that he's safe.
Or flip the other way, where Logan has
the other way.
The win or something.
Or his title will be on the line.
Yeah.
That could be that way too. I could see that being a deal. But, dude, King and Queen of the Ring is shaping up to be a bigger show.
We have the first match of the women's, and Nia Jax defeats Naomi.
In a good match, if you go back and watch it, Naomi was having a bit of a wardrobe malfunction. So they kept having to cut the screen to black a few times.
That's rough.
You could tell Naomi was doing her best, and she got through it.
Yeah.
But it was
poor Naomi.
A little awkward. But Nia Jax picks up the big W, which I was predicting she was going to win.
Yeah. Naomi, they did push her for a second there.
Yeah. We'll see what.
I feel like
Naomi's a great talent. Naomi's great. Yeah. I enjoy watching.
I could see Naomi being like I don't know. I feel like they should have like another women's championship and rather just the main title. You know,
like a secondary.
Yeah.
Kind of like what NXT's doing.
Yeah, maybe. I could see that because that's something Naomi can fit in.
Yeah, the mid card type stuff. Yeah.
Next, we have Carmelo Hayes and Baron Corbin. King of the Ring match. Carmelo picks up the win.
Baron Corbin, a former King of the Ring winner.
That's right, King Corbin.
First match back on the main roster since NXT.
That's right.
I'm really hoping they don't drop the ball on Corbin because going back to NXT was the best thing he possibly could have done. Mm-hmm. It was a smart decision.
It saved him.
Yes. It was the best thing he possibly could have done. And so I'm hoping, maybe he can get a mid-card title. Maybe he gets a United States Championship from Logan Paul.
Definitely.
I would enjoy. But Carmelo Hayes actually won with a roll-up pin.
That's right.
It was a surprise roll-up. But picked up the W. Carmelo Hayes is advancing in the King of the Ring tournament.
Queen of the Ring match again. Jade Cargill and Piper Niven. We all expected this. Jade Cargill comes out with a win.
Piper Niven put up a good fight. Chelsea Green was in her corner.
That's right.
Tried to help best she possibly could, I guess.
Jade is too powerful.
Dude, she picked her up and slammed her down and got the pin. And Jade Cargill now advances, who I think is going to the finals. I think she'll go all the way.
I believe so. Which we also should announce is the women's tag team champion.
One half of the new women's tag team champion.
That's right. Next, we get some bloodline stuff going on. We see that Solo is now
actually, it was Bianca Belair comes out. So that was the next match. That's right.
My bad.
So Jade Cargill was leaving, going backstage, and Bianca Belair comes out. They high five and celebrate a little bit, and she comes out for her match against Candice LeRae,
which we all expected.
Bianca Belair picks up the W. I was kind of hoping Candice LeRae would win because I'm I really hope they push her a little bit.
For the heel.
For the heel, dude. She was killing it on Raw. She had a good start on Raw.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like all for this.
That's right.
And having Indy Hartwell as well, I think will help.
Yep. And like I was saying before, Solo is now in charge of the Bloodline.
Backstage segment. Paul Heyman
appointed by Roman.
Yes, Paul Heyman was having some issues with Solo, saying that you're making too many decisions without the Tribal Chief's approval. And he fired back with, well, Paul, you made the decision to pull Roman out of the draft without his approval. Mm-hmm. And that's why they weren't a first-round pick, because Roman wasn't involved. They were third round. So Solo was like, don't act like you're better than I am. Mm-hmm. And so Solo told him, "You're my wise. I want you to be my wise man." And they hug it out, and you just see the fear in Paul's eyes.
Yeah,
the whole time.
Paul can't say no, or else he's getting beat.
He can't say no. Where else is Paul going to go if he doesn't have the bloodline? He doesn't have anybody else.
Exactly. Next we have Tamatonga and Tamatonga and Angelo Dawkins.
Angelo taking up Bobby Lashley's spot.
Bobby Lashley.
Angelo Dawkins getting some spotlight. Mm-hmm. Some singles spotlight, which I was honestly excited for. I know a lot of people want Montez Ford to get a good singles push. Yeah. Maybe for a mid-card title.
Angelo Dawkins
which I agree. And then that brings up the point. I'm glad Angelo Dawkins got some time to shine. And he did well.
He looked great.
Montez Ford even jumped off the steel steps into Tongaloa.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough, and Tamatonga picked up the W, unfortunately, for Angelo Dawkins.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But a good effort by Angelo Dawkins.
And then we have the main event, Randy Orton, AJ Styles.
Good main event.
It could have gone either way.
Could have gone either way.
Which I like to see that. Because with some of the matches in here, we could just tell who was winning. Mm-hmm. For this one, we were like, okay, this one is actually a big deal. Yeah. This one could push to the main event. Mm-hmm. Not the main event, the final round. Yeah. Randy Orton picks up the W. So with that being said, what do you think they're going to do with AJ Styles now that he's out of the tournament?
It's a great question. Who do you pair him up with? I don't know.
Like, it's a great...
Do you think do you keep him with Cody maybe a little bit? Do you keep pushing him there a little bit? And maybe add on another person? So maybe like a triple threat title match or something?
So to add on with AJ Styles...
Or Money in the Bank. We got Money in the Bank coming up soon. Yeah. So there's a thought.
So to add on with AJ Styles, maybe... we were talking about this, Braun Strowman being the first guy that Uncle Howdy puts his eyes on. Yeah. Do you think he could also focus on AJ Styles a little bit, maybe?
Well, that's the question.
It depends which show
Which show do you think is going on to? I don't know if it's just because Monday Night Raw is supposedly the flagship show, whatever your opinion is. I like SmackDown a bit more. But I could see them putting them on Raw.
I see with Braun Strowman on Raw, they could put Uncle Howdy on
I feel like that's a good start for them. Yeah. AJ Styles, I wish they would put him back with the OC. Just have a heel faction. Make them a heel group.
I just don't get why they don't have him with the OC.
Yeah, I don't know if they think it's too overplayed. They've already done it. You can do the same group, but you can do them in a different way. Yeah. Make them darker, more violent or whatever. Yeah. But... regardless, Randy Orton came out on top of this match.
Which I also like, though. Yes. Yeah. I was hoping that Randy Orton would be the next person after Logan Paul for Cody. Randy Orton.
I think Randy Orton eventually will be. But that brings up a question is, do you think they'll turn Randy Orton heel for that rivalry with Cody? Because that's a banger rivalry right there. Because there's so much history.
I feel like they will, but I feel like the crowd will still react to where they want Randy to win it. And
Randy Orton is since he returned, he's been pretty pretty well liked by the crowd. I mean, they've all been behind him. Full support.
I feel like they still would be behind him if he still turned heel.
Even if he turned heel, yeah. A lot of people think the crowd could eventually turn on Cody.
Really? I'd like to see heel Cody.
Heel Cody would be dope, and I think a lot of people.
I'd love to see how that turns.
I don't think we'll see that. Maybe by the early next year, maybe before WrestleMania, but I could see them maybe trying to hold out on face Cody till after next year's WrestleMania. Maybe. Potentially. Yeah. At the very least, we're going to try and see that past the Rock rivalry.
Yeah, so we see another QR code as well for Uncle
Yes,
Howdy.
Throughout the show. I forget where at in the show they showed it. Mm-hmm. Yes, another QR code.
You sent me the video, and it looked really interesting.
It was a good video.
So throughout the videos, it keeps saying we, me, and all these things. Do you think, like...
We're seeing a group. We're getting a group. So I think we're pretty confident on that.
So, yeah, they're saying, like, he helped us, he saved us, whatever.
Are they talking about Bray Wyatt? Is that who they're talking about?
Is it Bray Wyatt or Uncle Howdy?
I feel like they're talking about Bray Wyatt.
That would make sense. But also with the rumors that... So, they're thinking that Eric Rowan, which we are confirmed...
Yeah, so Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan.
And...
Dexter
Loomis, which we've never seen with Bray Wyatt.
No.
Nikki Cross, never with Bray Wyatt.
But now, when you bring up Nikki Cross, remember all those previously last year we saw her on the show, and she would always have that stare.
That was really random.
Now it would make sense if they put her with Uncle Howdy's group.
I feel like she's confirmed Bray Wyatt.
We're pretty confident. And then Joe Gacy.
Gacy, which makes sense because we haven't seen him in NXT in a few.
It's been
shows.
Well, he was on
two shows maybe.
He was at. Stand and Deliver, I thought, maybe. Because he beat Sean Spears.
That's right.
In the opening match or something.
So, maybe...
And then maybe Alexa Bliss.
So, yeah,
I've had read some things where rumors are she may go back to her goddess character. Mm-hmm. Possibly.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
We haven't really heard much from Alexa Bliss at all.
She'd be being a mom, which I understand.
Yeah.
Busy being a mom.
I don't know if there's anyone else we're missing.
But, I mean, that's a good group right there. I mean, regardless.
Yeah. Very creepy. I hope they push it high, though. I don't they just don't make it another...
I think they will. I think they know everybody's looking forward to this. And they know... And especially they've done way too much teasing to have it just fall flat.
I don't think they would tease him this much if they're just going to push him for another small group, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Like another Alpha Academy or whatever.
Yeah.
I feel like... Yeah, they're going to do a lot of this. Mm-hmm. A lot of good rivalries, a lot of good shows. Yes. Maybe some new matches.
Now, when it comes to the King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring, some matches hadn't taken place yet. They're taking place over this weekend.
That's right.
But out of everything, King of the Ring will start. Who's your finals prediction?
My finals prediction?
Locking it in. Who are the two people going to the finals? Who is going to Saudi Arabia?
So, Gunther is definitely
on the Raw side.
SmackDown? I don't know. It's really hard to think. I think LA Knight.
I got Gunther and LA Knight going. Yeah.
I think LA Knight, because he's so popular right now, I don't get why they wouldn't push him for that.
And especially,
I would say maybe Randy Orton.
He needs a title more than anything this year. This year, if by 2025, if he does not have the United States title at the very least, they're dropping the ball on this guy. Yeah. Because he needs a title. And I think him and Logan Paul would be a banger rivalry.
I think that's a SummerSlam matchup.
I think Logan Paul... Because when you lose a title, you want it to be to the right guy.
That's right.
And I think LA Knight would be the right guy to take the title off of Logan Paul. I think it would. Yeah. But yes, I agree. Gunther and LA Knight, I think, will be in the King of the Ring finals.
For women's, I think Jade Cargill
and Io Sky.
Yeah.
I think those two. And
we could definitely see a lot of sleepers, though.
Yeah.
It could be...
Dude, it's unlikely, but I think Zoe Stark could be a dark horse.
There's a chance.
Randy Orton could be a dark horse on... I know it's weird to say Randy Orton is a dark horse.
The thing about Randy is he's already so popular enough. He doesn't need it. Now, you can make the argument that it's one of the last things in WWE he hasn't done yet. But he doesn't need it. He doesn't
care. Compared to everybody else. I mean maybe
Roman Reigns has made it this far without it. Why does Randy need it?
Yeah. Maybe Carmelo Hayes.
That
Tama Tonga.
Tama Tonga, I feel like they're going to push him.
You also got to think about the matchup. You want to have a good matchup in the finals. Yeah. And who would be a good matchup for Gunther? Gunther's a heel, so naturally you're going to want a face going up against him, most likely. And LA Knight would be a perfect guy.
LA Knight would be good. I think Gunther's still going to win that match.
I think Gunther will still win, but I think LA Knight making it to the finals and getting that spotlight will be good for him.
What do you think they're gonna do with Giovanni Vinci in SmackDown?
Giovanni Vinci?
Yeah.
It's a good question. We didn't see him. We know he was drafted, but we didn't see him last night.
Do you think
SmackDown.
maybe he's in one of those matches that are happening at live shows?
He could be working live shows. I'm very curious
I'm so curious.
what they do with him.
We'll see. I wonder.
I honestly wish they would have kept him on the same show as Imperium. You could have still done a rivalry there a little bit.
I wonder what his persona is going to be. Like, what his entrance is going to look like.
We'll see.
What his finisher is going to look like. Everything.
I mean, I'll give it to him. Him splitting from Imperium could be a blessing in disguise for him, because now he's got his time to shine on his own.
Yeah, he was definitely like the one in the group where people like, I forgot his name.
Yeah,
you know?
but he'll get his time as a singles competitor.
I missed that.
It's all right. That ends us with the show recaps.
I'm gonna go further away.
All right, so that will bring us to our next segment. Will be our top 10 list for this week.
I'm gonna go throw it in a different track.
Okay, I'll talk to the audience while you're gone. Hope you guys are enjoying this episode. Caysen's going to throw his trash away. Let us know in the chat who you like better, me or Caysen. It's me, obviously.
All right.
Don't tell him that's what you say.
I don't want to know. I'll just watch the
Don't tell him.
podcast video.
Don't tell him.
Next, we're gonna go with top 10.
Top 10 list, and this was your week to pick the top 10. So
Was it your week?
no, yes, it was my week. It was my week.
Is the
Correct.
pick
You're
for
right. I chose this.
the matches.
Top 10 list for this week is top 10 favorite championship
That's right.
designs.
I did a lot of research for this one.
Caysen did a lot of research.
Yeah.
So we're going to start with number 10.
I do want to kind of like try drawing something, but I feel like I'm gonna do horrible.
Well, and that'll also take up time.
Yeah. Maybe if we could like cut it and stuff, but we don't have the budget for that yet.
I mean, we do. I mean, I can do it. Oh, I just drew on my shirt. That's okay.
3,
2,
2, 1. Number 10 is $1 Million Championship for me.
I have current WWE
The
Championship.
current WWE.
So Cody Rhodes is current WWE Championship.
Okay. The undisputed title.
Undisputed title, yes.
Okay.
$1 Million Championship gets slept on.
Yeah,
It was a good looking title.
It looks pretty nice.
It's a fun looking title. I was kind of glad they kind of remember when they brought it back in NXT for a little bit, and it was LA Knight and like Cameron Grimes were going at it for the title, and like Ted DiBiase was there.
Yeah.
It was kind of cool. Which that kind of brings me
All right.
to my number 9, which I
number
chose the $1
9.
Million Championship as my number 9.
Okay, my number 9 is the World Heavyweight Championship 2002.
So 2002. So you haven't. I will say, and there's nothing wrong with having it this low, but some people find that to be the absolute best looking title
you know,
in all of WWE.
if I was alive during that time.
But see, that brings me up. It may be a generation thing.
Yeah.
You're just
My generation's just different.
which is what I like about this podcast, especially is even between you and me, we started watching wrestling at very different times.
Yes.
Our view of wrestling, of WWE, is different, which I think is why we complement each other so well.
Shoot.
My handwriting sucks. All right.
3,
3, 2, 1. Current women's championship.
You have the current world
So you have
title.
the current, so the Raw.
The Raw championship.
So I got the SmackDown one on mine.
Ooh, okay. The Raw one it looks really nice.
You like the way that so some people aren't crazy about the way the current world title looks like. You're not in that group. You say you like the way
I like
the
it.
current
I
one
really
looks.
like it. It really, I don't know. It's just
It
something about
resembles a bit of the original world title, but kind of has a bit of flair of its own. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Let us know your
Yes. Let
picks
us
as
know
well.
what some of your favorite favorite
titles.
titles. Ready?
3, 2, 1.
So I got current WWE Tag Team Champions.
I did 2014 Intercontinental title.
So that's the white.
The white.
That's actually that
strap.
even originated. That's like what the original Intercontinental Championship looked like.
Yeah.
So they brought it back in the mid 2010s.
Yes.
And you want to know who brought it back? I think he brought it back in 2011. You want to take a guess?
I don't think I remember.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes.
Cody
really?
Rhodes brought back that original title look
Man.
when he was in
History at its finest, you know?
Mm-hmm. Cody Rhodes, he's done a lot. People don't realize he's done quite a bit.
In other companies, too.
Other company, he freaking built the whole company.
3,
2, 1. So I got the IC title, and I'm gonna go with the current one. And let me say, I wasn't keen on it to begin with, but maybe it's been the same thing with the current World Heavyweight Championship. I wasn't keen on it to begin with,
but you're growing
but the way Seth Rollins has made that title prestigious,
yeah,
just like how Gunther had made this title,
yeah,
this one's prestigious. Just his title reign made it appeal a lot more to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I did 2014 to 2023 WWE Championship before it was.
Look at
combined.
He got the years and everything. Look at the research on this guy.
It was so like
that was the was that when Brock Lesnar, when they brought it out with Brock Lesnar and he was the first one to hold that title?
I think so, but it looks so nice. You know, it's not like it's really like I don't know how to say it. Just. It's
no,
not,
I agree. I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I can't find the right word.
What are we on, number 5?
That's right. Yeah.
It's just clean looking.
It's just clean, you know?
3, 2, 1. So I got the undisputed WWE title from the early 2000s.
Okay.
So that's the one that like Brock Lesnar held it. I think it was the title that John Cena, when he won his first WWE championship.
Okay.
It was the title that he had.
All right. I did the 2005 to 2013
so that would have been
spinner.
So that would have been the WWE title after this one.
Yeah, the spinner title.
Yes. So some people aren't crazy about it, but I know some people liked it.
I
know
it.
that was what was the title when I first started watching wrestling.
Really?
Was the spinner title.
Yep.
Number 4.
14. All right.
Trying to shorten this up as best I can.
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Number 4 is I have the unified WWE World Title, which was that Brock Lesnar title that you were talking about.
I said undisputed Universal title.
So is that the current one that Cody has? Yeah.
You know, it's just I like the gold in it. I feel like that really resembles like this title is combined with 2 different titles that had really unique paths. So
yeah. I'm glad they got rid of, because I'll be honest, one of my least favorite was the Universal Championship look. I hated, and the Raw and SmackDown tag titles and the women's, I never really liked the whole color of the show being on the title.
Really?
I never really liked it.
I liked it at first whenever Finn Balor had it.
When they first brought it out,
yeah,
first debuted it.
But whenever they changed the color to SmackDown,
it was just, I just didn't like
feel it anymore.
And I always hated the whole exchanging titles when the champions would get drafted to separate brands, and you have to exchange the titles because you have to keep in mind the Raw Women's Championship and like SmackDown Women's Championship, 2 completely different titles. Mm-hmm. So if you exchange it, does that mean each person gets another title reign added onto it?
Yeah.
Or is it just a part of their current reign? It just wasn't my favorite.
3, 2, 1. The current World Heavyweight Championship.
I have the current United States Championship.
Yep.
Both clean looking titles. I will admit, I think when it comes to all of the upgrades, the current upgrades, the United States has been the best looking one.
Completely. United States is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It looks so clean. It looks, I don't know. I feel like whoever designed that was probably should be recognized
should
get a raise.
Amazing. Should get a raise, let's be honest. Maybe they're listening.
Yeah, and with that being said,
2, 1.
I said the United States title.
I went with the winged eagle.
The winged
title.
eagle. I did see that one.
This one is a very popular one among the wrestling community.
I did see that.
A lot of people say it's the best title ever looking, especially with WWE. Oh, sorry, that was number 2, wasn't it?
That was number 2.
Sorry, I had number 3 down. That was number 2, correct.
That was number 2.
This is number 1. Our favorite looking championship title.
All right, 3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
I said the undisputed WWE title, 2002-2005.
So the one I said the
one you said was number 5.
Yes, and I went with the big gold World Heavyweight Championship.
Yep.
That the original WCW, and then they brought it.
Yeah.
Into WWE. It's clean.
It's very clean.
It's clean.
It's very nice. With these rankings right here, it could go either way for no matter who you ask,
Yeah.
It's all about opinions.
It's opinions,
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with... Maybe you think that the current world tag team titles are the best looking tag team titles of all time.
Yeah.
And you're entitled to that opinion.
Yeah.
Maybe you got a point. Maybe they got a point in how they like how it looks.
All right.
Good picks. So that brings us to the final segment, the match reviews. Remaining matches.
Yeah. We're doing 2 matches this week.
We covered the Triple H and Undertaker match from WrestleMania 27 last week.
That's right.
So now we're covering the one from WrestleMania 28, the Hell in a Cell, and then the Charlotte Flair and Rhea Ripley match from WrestleMania 39.
Let's go and start with WrestleMania 28. Go chronological order.
There was so much to this match. You had Hell in a Cell. You had End of an Era. You had The Streak. You had
Shawn Michaels
referee. You had Triple H and Undertaker.
Relationships on the line.
All the different rivalries and friendships and storylines.
If I was watching this in time, I would have thought Undertaker's going to lose this match.
Dude, I remember the build up to this match was just nuts.
Yeah, we'll go. I was gonna say something, but we'll go and
because
start with the beginning.
So
of the match.
the build up the year prior, because you can't talk about this match without referencing the match the year before.
That's right.
Undertaker couldn't walk out of that match. He was able to pick up the win, but he couldn't walk. Triple H was able to walk out. So the way Triple H saw it was Undertaker won the battle, but Triple H won the war. Undertaker didn't like that.
Undertaker did not.
Undertaker, that next year, came out, he had cut his hair.
That's right.
This is the point. He had since...
Is this the first time we see him with...
Yeah, so we didn't see him the whole year.
That's right.
And he comes out, and the way they built in the storyline was, since that night, WrestleMania 27, The Undertaker couldn't get over not being able to walk out.
That's right.
So he had been cutting his hair as almost torment to himself. Mm-hmm. So Triple H, by this point... He's embraced the COO look of himself.
Yeah.
Undertaker comes out, and this time, the year prior, it was Triple H that came out and challenged Taker. Mm-hmm. This time it was reversed. Undertaker, for one of the first times ever, other than maybe when he won the Royal Rumble and challenged or something, very rarely do you see Undertaker being the one to challenge somebody at WrestleMania. It's usually the other way around. And and definitely in this case, it meant something.
Yeah.
And Shawn Michaels got involved, ended up becoming the special guest referee. It was Hell in a Cell, End of an Era, and then we get to the match, and it did not disappoint. I think it was voted Match of the Year at the Slammy Awards.
It was definitely 5 out of 5.
It was nuts. I remember watching that match and dude, it was crazy.
Yeah. We see steel steps being used, spinebuster onto the steps,
sledgehammers. Chair shots, getting thrown in the cell.
Yeah. Shawn Michaels begs The Undertaker to let him ring the bell at some point in the match. And then Triple H tries to get Shawn Michaels to just ring it. And
Undertaker, at one point, throws Shawn Michaels kind of out of the way a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then he super kicks The Undertaker.
Yeah.
Into Triple H, who then hits a pedigree.
Yeah.
I thought that was it.
Whenever I saw that, I was like, oh, these people probably think this is it.
Yeah, they're like, this is it, dude. This is how it ends.
Yeah.
And he kicks out.
That was probably one of the craziest kickouts.
And it's like and Shawn Michaels, you see how we and Shawn Michaels, the master of overselling and everything, he never disappoints.
Yeah.
Back and forth, it was a crazy match, and both guys looked amazing.
Yeah, Undertaker puts Triple H in the Hell's Gate lock, and Triple H passes out. The match should be over.
You think he's about to lose it the way he lost it the year before in the Hell's Gate?
Yeah, the match should have been over, but Shawn Michaels was out.
That's right, he was out. Correct.
And the new referee had to come in, and that was after not Triple H. Yeah, Triple H got out of the Hell's Gate.
Yeah.
And from that, we keep seeing more Sweet Chin musics. Wait, no, that was the one you were talking about before.
Yeah. Into the pedigree.
More crazy kickouts. HBK cannot believe it at all.
He's in disbelief.
And then we finally see a tombstone from The Undertaker, which led to the match being over.
Yeah.
Great match.
He goes to 20-0, I believe, at that point. He was 20-0.
Yeah.
Big win for The Undertaker in a classic match that will never be forgotten.
Sportsmanship is shown at the end of the match.
Should have been their last match together.
Yeah.
Then we got that horrible tag match. Just god awful. The year when they had Shawn Michaels came out. Remember when they came out of the Saudi Arabia? Oh my gosh, it was terrible.
I saw that one.
It was terrible. Anyways, good match. That brings us to WrestleMania 39.
Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair. Big time jump.
Who some people say greatest women's
Match of all time.
Of all time. At least WrestleMania of all time, at the very least. And they may have a point because it was a banger match.
Yeah, the power from Rhea Ripley in this match was insane.
Because Rhea Ripley was on fire because she had just won the Royal Rumble from the number one spot.
Yeah.
She was on fire going into this match.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair was the champion. Rhea Ripley picks up the win. This is what kicked off her big championship reign.
We see a lot of crazy stunts from this match.
Yeah,
the DDT from
Charlotte Flair was doing moonsaults.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charlotte Flair did an amazing DDT on the from the Riptide. She lifted her up.
Yes.
And the DDT on that was pretty cool in my opinion. The flip from the top of the ring to the turnbuckle to outside the ring was amazing. German suplex from top rope onto Charlotte Flair was also amazing. Crazy kickouts. But we finally see an end to the match when Rhea Ripley does the Riptide from the top rope.
A good way to end the match.
Yeah, the crowd was
a
going
memorable
nuts.
moment and a great way to end the match.
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley picks up the W, becomes the new women's champion.
Yeah, it was an amazing match. Yeah.
Banger match. Rhea Ripley, one of a kind talent.
Yeah.
Same for Charlotte Flair.
I feel like that was a career-changing. Even though we've seen Rhea do the career-changing moments from the Royal Rumble, that was also career-changing with the championship.
That's a match I think in 10 years we'll be talking about.
Yeah.
So now you got 3 matches you're going to want to...
And I actually picked them out beforehand.
Are these all WrestleMania matches again?
No. Only one WrestleMania match.
Only one, all right. That's not
WrestleMania 33, Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
Ooh, a lot of history in that match.
No Way Out 2004, Brock Lesnar versus Eddie Guerrero.
Oh!
Let me cook.
Let him cook, dude. I am all for that match.
Bayley versus Sasha Banks, Hell in a Cell 2020.
The Hell in a Cell match, yes.
Yep.
Bayley and Sasha Banks always put on banger matches. Because we covered the one from NXT. Now we're covering the Hell in a Cell match. I'm all for that, dude.
Yep.
That's a banger 3 matches, dude.
Researching those two.
Banger 3 matches.
Yep. So you at home, watch those matches with us.
Yes. Watch along.
Tell us what you think of the matches we went over as well.
Yes.
And
let us know at the top 10. We got King and Queen of the Ring. Let us know who you think is going to be in the finals.
Yeah, give us ideas.
Are you excited for the event in Saudi Arabia? Because it's shaping up to be a banger.
Yeah.
Banger
definitely.
event.
All right.
Thank you guys.
That's how we're going to close it.
Yes, thank you guys for joining us. We did all right on time. We hit an hour. Hit the social medias. Hit us up on YouTube. Hit us up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, all the podcasts. And don't forget that wrestling is cool again.
Wrestling's cool again, y'all.
Don't be afraid to say you like wrestling.
Yeah.
I'll go tell the old man down the road I like wrestling. I don't care. Caysen doesn't care.
Uncle Joe?
Uncle Joe. Uncle Joe down the road. I'll invite him over for pizza and wrestling. I don't care.
You want to watch WrestleMania with me?
Hey.
What?
Who are you? Is Randy Savage still around? Is he still wrestling? Is
Stone Cold
still
champ?
Still chugging beer and stunning every. Is Vince McMahon still there? Oh no, there's a lot of stuff going on with Vince McMahon we can't talk about.
Anyways, we are so glad you decided to spend an hour of your day.
An hour
listening
of
to
your
us.
day.
Magic Tyler, Caysen Smith, episode 8 of Ring Talk. Let your friends know about us.
Yes.
Here we go.
Yes. We will see you
next time.